Hello friend, welcome you all. In our past two lecture, we have discussed the efficiency improvement method for the gas turbine. Okay, and we have discussed the intercooling and the reheating. Okay, in intercooling we have observed that it is the method of temperature reduction between the two stages of compression, so that the volume of gas is reduced and hence the work performed by the second compressor is going to be reduced. Okay. In reheating, we observe that we are incorporating more than one combustion chamber. Okay. And because of the addition of the combustion chamber, the net work produced by the low pressure stage turbine is going to be improved, and hence the work output is increased. Okay. As the work output is increased, it means the efficiency is going to be improved. But of the method that we have priorly discussed is all about the addition of the heat exchanger between two stages. Okay. So now in today's session I would like to brief you the open cycle gas turbine with the regeneration. In regeneration we are going to use the waste heat so that we can improve the performance of the turbine, as well as we are able to reduce the unwanted desired effect like the global warming, and we are able to reduce the pollution level. Okay, so regeneration is the one of the great method by which we are able to help our environment, as well as we are able to improve the efficiency of the turbine. So let's begin our today's session with the open cycle gas turbine with the regeneration. Okay, as I told you that in regeneration we are going to use waste heat in order to improve the efficiency of the turbine. So to understand the regeneration cycle, consider the layout of the system first. Here we have only one compressor, one combustion chamber and one turbine. Okay. In addition to that, we have one heat recovery heat exchanger. Okay. You can observe the location of the heat exchanger. Now here, in order to understand the working of the cycle, let's observe this diagram and its different point, and let me start the cycle with the point number 1. You can say at point 1 the compressor is induce the atmospheric air. Okay, and as this air pass through the compressor, its pressure and temperature is going to be increased because of the compression process. Okay, so at point 2 days we have extremely high pressure, high temperature air. Okay, now this air is allowed to flow through the heat exchanger. Okay, and after the heat exchanger at point 3, okay, at point 3 the air is allowed to flow through the combustion chamber. Now notice here one thing carefully. At point 3 temperature is high compared to temperature at point 2. How? Okay, just wait for a few minutes. I will explain this thing. Okay, but now let me continue with the flow. At point 3, extremely high pressure, high temperature air is allowed to flow toward the combustion chamber, where the air is getting mixed with the fuel. And because of the mixing of the air and fuel, the combustion is initiated. Okay, and at the point 4 we have extremely high pressure, temperature air. Okay, high pressure and high temperature air. Now at point 4 the same air is allowed to flow through the turbine. Okay, allowed to flow through the turbine. As the mixture of air and product of the fuel flow through the turbine, what happens? Its pressure reduces, its temperature is also reduced, and it produces the mechanical power, so that we obtain the work from the turbine. And out of the total available work, some amount of the work is utilized to drive the compressor, while the rest amount of the work is utilized to produce the power or for any other application. Okay. After the expansion at point 5 days, whatever the exhaust gases, or you can say the product of the combustion plus air, okay, are directly supplied to the heat exchanger. Generally, the temperature range at 0.5 days is in the range of 400 to 500 degrees centigrade. Okay, so extreme high amount of the heat content is there with air. Okay, now this air is supplied to the heat exchanger, as I told you. Okay, in heat exchanger, this extremely high temperature product, or you can say air, is coming into the contact with the air that is coming from the compressor at 0.2 days. Okay, so the stream that is flowing toward the 0.6 is having a high temperature, while the stream that is coming from the 0.2 days is having a low temperature. So the stream having high temperature give its heat to the low temperature stream that is coming from the 2 days. Okay, and because of that heat interaction, okay, we need to supply lesser amount of the fuel to the combustion chamber, which will provide economy to us in terms of the money behind the fuel. Okay, so ultimately in regeneration we are providing one additional heat exchanger in between the combustion chamber and the compressor, okay, in which the heat transfer occurs from the exhaust gas to the incoming gas, and that's why the fuel economy will improve. Okay, as well as you can say heat input is reduced. As the heat input reduced, but obviously the efficiency is going to be improved. Okay, so it is all about the regeneration. Okay, regeneration is the one of the best techniques by which we are able to improve the efficiency of turbine by considering the environmental aspect also. Okay, so it is all about the regeneration. In regeneration, you need to keep only one thing in your mind, and that thing is you need to provide one heat exchanger in between the combustion chamber and the compressor, so that we can minimize the amount of the fuel that we are used for the heating purpose inside the combustion chamber. Okay, clear to all? Now, in this cycle, the turbine work is given by MCP multiplied by temperature difference. Here temperature difference is T5 days minus T4. So net work that is produced by the turbine for the unit mass is given by CPA T5 days minus T4. Now what about the compressor work? Think on that. Compressor work is also given by the same way, MCP T2 days minus T1. But if you consider unit mass flow rate, then the compressor work is given by CPA T2 days minus T1. Okay. Now, what about the heat exchangers? Suppose I want to identify the effectiveness of heat exchanger, then what we have to do? Effectiveness is nothing but the actual heat transfer to the maximum heat transfer. Right. I think this thing you might study in the heat transfer subject. Okay. Just recall the heat transfer and you will get the idea regarding the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. Effectiveness of the heat exchanger is nothing but the actual heat transfer to the maximum heat transfer. Okay, so you need to derive the equation for the same. Okay, so for the effectiveness you can say, considering the cycle, or you can say TS diagram, okay, actual heat transfer to the maximum heat transfer. But to identify the actual heat transfer and the maximum heat transfer, you need to plot the TS diagram. So to plot the TS diagram, here you can see we have TS diagram with us. Just to go through the system diagram. Once we have a system diagram clear in our mind, then we can proceed to the TS diagram. In system diagram, 1 to 2 is the compression process, which means you need to plot one vertical line on the TS diagram to indicate the ideal compression. But to show the actual compression, you need to plot one inclined line, that is 1 to 2 days. So in this diagram, 1 to 2 indicate the ideal compression, while 1 to 2 days is actual compression. Then after 2 to 3 is the heating inside the heat exchanger. Okay, so some amount of the temperature is increased because of this heat exchanger. Then after 3 to 4 days is the combustion process, during which the pressure remain constant and temperature increase. So 3 to 4 is inclined line, which shows the pressure remain constant while the temperature is increased. Then after 4 to 5 is the expansion in turbine, and if you want to plot the ideal expansion, then what obvious you need to plot one vertical line, and if you want to plot the actual compression line, then actual expansion line, then you need to plot one inclined path, okay, which shows the increment in entropy. So here you can say 4 to 5 days is our actual compression, while 4 to 5 is our ideal compression. Then after 5 days to 6 to 6 days is again heat exchange process inside the heat exchanger which occur at constant pressure. So here we have a complete TS diagram with us. Okay. Now based on this diagram, just identify the actual heat transfer rate and the maximum possible heat transfer rate inside the heat exchanger. Okay. Based on that, try to derive the effectiveness equation. Okay. Just try. So here we have effectiveness equation with us. Okay. Ultimately, heat transfer is nothing but the enthalpy. So here I have wrote the effectiveness equation in form of the enthalpy. Increase in enthalpy divided by available increase in the enthalpy, which is similar to the maximum and our actual. Effectiveness is actual heat transfer to the maximum heat transfer, and correspond to that I have wrote this equation in the form of the enthalpy. So here you can say the effectiveness is equal to T3 minus T2 days divided by T5 days minus T2 days. It is the ratio of this temperature difference. So it is all about the effectiveness that is associated with the use of the heat exchanger. If the value of effectiveness is high, then it will give more heat transfer rate, which leads toward the situation where we can minimize the fuel supply rate so that we can improve the efficiency of the plant. Okay, so it is all about the regeneration. Basically, we have discussed the three techniques by which we are able to improve the efficiency of open cycle gas turbine, namely intercooling, reheating, and the regeneration. Okay, by using these three techniques, we can improve the efficiency of turbine. And one can also combine two techniques simultaneously. I mean to say intercooling and regeneration, or reheating, or you can say regeneration. So it is all about the cycle with the regeneration. So here we have completed chapter number 2, that is gas turbine. Now in our next session, I would like to continue with the jet engine, which is the practical application of the gas turbine. Okay, practical application of gas turbine. So stay tuned with me. Okay, thank you.